Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So today we're going over all the new VR game releases for January 2024. I can't believe we're already into 2024, but just like my previous video, I'm really excited for this year and it looks like it's starting off nicely because there's some titles I'm really excited to jump into. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by my sponsor, Kiwi Design. Kiwi has accessories for all of your favorite headsets, and they finally started releasing some new products for the Quest 3. On screen we have their brand new extra comfy Quest 3 Elite strap. I've been using head straps from Kiwi for years now, and they're hands down my favorite. There's a link to Kiwi down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support my channel. Okay, so let's start off with my normal disclaimer. All of today's release dates have been given to me by Meta, the game studios themselves, and the Steam database. They are of course subject to change, so if something gets delayed, don't come after me, crap happens. Now I also wanted to add Meta's monthly Quest Plus titles into this video. If you're not familiar with Quest Plus, it's a subscription service that gives you 2 hand-picked games, and in January members are getting Knock and Richie's Plank Experience. Now before I detail those games, I just want to remind people, if you recently picked up a 512GB Quest 3, you'll get 6 months of Quest Plus for free. Well, let's get into those titles, starting with Knock, which is a unique competitive sports title similar to something like Rocket League. Instead of cars driving around and smashing into balls, you'll be armed with a bow and arrow and you have to shoot your way to victory. You'll also get a series of trick arrows, which adds another level of strategy to this game. So if you were looking for something to fill the gap since Echo VR is gone, or you want a sport-like title that's uniquely suited for VR, well then go check out Knock. Now if you'd rather just get your adrenaline pumping, I highly recommend you check out the classic title, Richie's Plank Experience. Here, you'll be entering an elevator and taking it to the top floor of a building, where you get to walk out across a plank in the ultimate fear of heights test. There's also plenty of other little scares and mini games in this experience. Plus, the developers just recently added a whole new canyon world to explore. So if you want to have a great time with a bunch of your friends, go pull out a real plank of wood and watch your friends squirm as they try to walk across it in VR. But enough of these free titles, let's get into the new releases, starting with Micro Machines Mini Challenge. Lately, it feels like VR and mixed reality is trying to take all of my childhood joys and recreate them for this new digital world. First it was flying action figures, followed by Legos, and now Micro Machines. It was undeniably fun to build a tractor at your house, and then see which of your vehicles could actually survive it. And now we'll get to do all of that in both virtual and mixed reality modes, plus so much more. There's time trials, stunt modes, vehicle customization, and plenty of additional features to test out in this game. Now this isn't my typical go-to type of game, but I can't deny the fact that it looks like it's a lot of fun. And speaking of fun, how would you like godlike control over a full town? Well, Townsmen VR is making its way onto the Quest this month, and as someone who previously played this game on PCVR, I can tell you from first-hand experience it's a lot of fun. Now the game reminds me a bit of the classic PC title Black and White, minus the giant creatures. Here your townspeople will be shipwrecked on an island, and you'll have to help them become a full-fledged civilization. Things start off small with simple challenges like food and shelter, but before you know it, you'll have to help your townsfolk on bigger and bigger challenges. So if you've been looking for a new VR game that leans into both the world building and real-time strategy genre, well then Townsmen VR should be right up your alley. And speaking of up my alley, the next title, UNDERDOGS, is something I've been waiting a very long time for. When VR was first announced, I was expecting there would be plenty of mech titles, but there's actually only a handful of VR mech games out there. Now, UNDERDOGS skirts the traditional mech warrior style gameplay, and instead gives you a brawler in this unique underground pit fighting style world. It's all about competing for glory, and it almost has a type of wrestling style showboating to go along with it. I've heard the overall gameplay mechanics are awesome, and I'm already planning to release some early coverage of this game, so if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on. Now, continuing to replace my childhood in VR, our next game is Toy Trains, which definitely surprised me because it's from the same developers that brought us Super Hot. This game is pretty much what you expect it to be. This is your opportunity to build the toy train set of your dreams. Now this title also features a full storyline to help keep you captivated, but overall it looks like a laid-back, chill, world-building type of experience. Historically, this is not my go-to type of game, but after absolutely loving Little Cities VR, I expect some people will really get into this game. But if you're looking for more action, the classic shooter Bulletstorm is making its way into VR. This game originally released 13 years ago, and while it may look like we're just revisiting the past, something unique happens when you port these older games. This was a time before microtransactions and games as a live service. The only thing that developers had to rope you in was a compelling single-player campaign filled with exciting moments and non-stop action. So by today's standards, these games feel fresh and new. Additionally, older titles like this have not been experienced by the majority of the younger Quest audience, so I'm expecting this will be a title that every shooter fan enjoys. The mechanics are well suited for VR because the gameplay revolves around getting skill points for creative kills, and it was already a lot of fun on flat screen, so I'm expecting it'll be even better in VR. And speaking of better in VR, platformers just come to life for me in a virtual world. One look at Crumbling and I was instantly excited because I absolutely fell in love with Moss and Astrobot Rescue Mission, so I know just how good this genre can be in VR. Crumbling also appears to have a nice comic book style to it and unique VR mechanics, so I'm definitely intrigued. Now, if you're not sure if Crumbling is for you, I'm happy to report there's a free demo on Steam right now. Now, moving into the last week of January, there's two unique titles that I'm also excited to try out. The first is the asymmetrical 1v1 ghost hunting game, Hunt Together. One player will be the ghost hunter, who's actively trying to track down and trap the ghost, while the supernatural entity will be drawing the life force out of the hunter, eventually channeling it into some ultimate jump scares. This is definitely a unique new take on 1v1 PvP, and there's both plenty of tools available for the hunter and unique abilities for the ghost that help keep this game exciting for both players. The curious part of Mateo311 can't wait to experience this game, but the coward in me is like, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments right now if you want me to cover this game. And our final game of the month is also unique, as it's a platformer designed specifically for mixed reality. This game is designed to build levels that adapt to your actual play space. In typical platformer fashion, you'll be fighting enemies, solving puzzles, and of course exploring, but I'm truly curious to see what the mixed reality aspect brings to this game. Will it enhance the overall experience, or is it just a gimmick? Only time will tell, and I'll let you guys know my experience if I ever jump into this game. Now, the final thing I wanted to mention for the month of January is the universal mod injector for the Unreal Engine. Now, this is specific to PCVR. I know a lot of people are going to have questions on this. What is it? How does it work? What does it do? Well, basically, it's going to take almost all Unreal 4 and Unreal 5 games and make them playable in a VR mode. Is it perfect? No. Does it have some hoops to jump through? Yes. So I just wanted to put that out there. It looks like it should be releasing soon. The demo version or an early version is being made available to content creators right now. So if you guys want me to cover it, go into full detail, let me know down in the comments. I'm on the fence about covering it right now. I'm definitely intrigued, but I'm already sure it's not 100% right for me. This is kind of similar to something like Vorpex, but let's say better. It's a cool app. There's a lot to say about it. I think it's going to be releasing fairly soon. And, you know, we talked about something like Bulletstorm, which can be absolutely fantastic ported into VR. Same thing happened with like Resident Evil 4 ported into VR. Absolutely fantastic. So there's a ton of potential with this mod, or this universal mod. However, I don't think it's well suited to everyone. So if you want me to go into detail why I feel that way, what exactly it is, how it works, the games that it works for, let me know in the comments. I'll consider putting out that video, you know, a nice lengthy one covering my experience with it. And yeah, that's January VR games in a nutshell, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. It's the thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.